Welcome back, tubes. Worcester here again. Got a little bit of a new project. Got a Kawasaki Prarie Automatic 400. Neighbor down the road said that the transmission was kind of a little screwed up, at least the selector was. And turns out that it will not reach into high range, and high would be going into there. And right now it's in neutral, but as you can see, it's a little off kilter than as it should be, right in between. It's really wobbly and loose, so I'm gonna tear into this puppy and gonna take probably this plastic cowling off first, and you'll use Phillips, of course. I'm not real sure what year this is, but it appears to be in pretty nice shape. Got really good tires on it and everything. And so we're gonna probably take the plastics off and maybe the front fenders and everything, and try to get into that and try to be able to look back underneath there and maybe see what the problem is. Alrighty, tubes, stay tuned. Folks, another thing, when you're before you take the front fenders off, you want to remove the front rack mounting bolts here, which attach to the front like brush guard and light assembly. So, and they are, I believe, a 12mm bolt that goes in each of those. You'll remove those, and then these you shouldn't have to worry about because that should just come off with the front plastics then. Another thing, which will be your next step that you'll have to do, you'll want to take a Phillips head screwdriver and remove a bolt here and one exactly like this on the other side, and that'll release this front plastics. Another thing, in order to take the plastics off, I found out you will also have to take these off, which are 12mm as well. Next step, after removing those side bolts on the front mounting of the front fenders, you'll want to take that screw out and that screw out. This one right here. And that will release the front fenders off, and then all you'd have to do is just pop that out from the gas tank covering. Another thing that I just now realized is that the mud guards are all connected by the same Phillips head screws, 3 on each side. You want to remove those. Okay, you're going to disregard that last comment I made about removing those the mud flaps from the footrest, because, well, I guess it's your personal choice, but for me to save time, there's nuts on each side of these attached to the mud guard support, and I would probably just not worry about messing with that. And I did find another way. Honestly, if you want to, you could take these off here, and this is also like if you want to inspect some of your cooling systems up here. This is another what I'm probably going to take these plastics off for, but there's a lot of security bolts that are holding it on rather than, you know, it just sitting there. But the next thing you're going to want to do, but after disregarding that last comment, if you don't want to worry about taking off the front plastics, you can remove the plastic covering around the tank. In order to do that, you'll take screws out here and here, and that's pretty much it for that. And then you want to take off your seat, so stay tuned. Alright guys, there's another thing I want to mention. When taking off the seat, your latch is located underneath there. You see that gold bar on the back that I'm pointing to? That bar under there, you reach your hand up under there and pop that up. Your seat will come off. And this also gets you access to your air cleaner and your battery. On this particular quad, the battery is completely dead, but the pull start works pretty dang good. So you'll find 2 bolts here, and I'm not too sure on what the size is. Oh, let me check here. I'm pretty sure they're going to be the same as the others, which was a 12mm. It might be an 11 or a 10. Okay, 10mm for those two mounting brackets to the plastics. Well folks, one word of advice, when you're taking the plastic covering off of the gas tank, there's little washers on top. Make sure you take those off before you pull the tank off, because I just dropped the, so it's like it's basically like a washer insert almost. It's kind of like an insert to hold the plastics on as well as the tank. But I dropped it down in the cavern and it's laying on top of the motor, that shiny piece right down in there. Yeah, I just dropped that down there, so I'm gonna have to find some grabber or something, or just take the back plastics off, which I'm probably not gonna do. But I'll probably grab like a grabber or a magnet thing and pop that back up, but just watch that. But okay, the plastic covering that held that was actually pretty good to gain access to this. I can actually get back in there now, and that's what we're gonna dissect now. We're gonna see what's up with the old Cowie here. So we'll be back with you shortly. All right, well tubes, I believe I figured out his problem. If you're looking from my perspective, it doesn't look too straight, does it? It looks like that shaft, like the bracket's a little bent. And then if you look, you'll find a tiny little crack right there, and where it's split down. And it's putting tension, see that? Trying to move, but since you can see, the whole bracket shifted down, which is putting a lot of tension on this here. I don't know really what you call it. I'm gonna call it like a pinion or whatever, or that arm, and it's just putting so much tension on that and this bracket that it's not able to have enough like non-resistance in order to drop it down into the proper gear. I mean, because it'll go down that far, and when you look, with that bracket being bent, you don't have enough like pressure to put it through, and you can tell there's like a little tiny, whoops, sorry about that really bad camera angle. Geez, I just now realized. But there's this right here, and what I was showing you is how that pushes down. In order to get it into that low gear, that needs to be lined up, but with that bracket all bent up and shifted, I'm gonna hopefully bend the bracket straight and then fix that, because this attaches here, like this little thing, when it goes down that hole, it attaches to this like long rod, and this rod goes to this, which controls the rear end, and that'll get you to the high gear that you need to be, this last one back there. Well folks, that's pretty much if you can't get her into high on a Kawasaki Prarie, not real sure on what the year is, but you might be seeing more of it. Who knows? I might buy it. Who knows? I always like buying shit, so. Alrighty, folks. This is Moss Man out. Take her easy.